everyone, and welcome to another edition of Erongo Talk. My name is Leandrea Louw, and I'll be your host for today. Now, today I'm wearing pink since it's Pink Newspaper Day and it's Pink Day. And our interview for today is going to be with Luzelle Lestrade, who is a breast cancer survivor. Now, she's going to talk about her journey post-cancer. As usual, I'm going to bring you the latest news, the weather and tides, as well as the upcoming events. Now, today we also find ourselves at Riekert's holiday accommodation right here in Swakopmund. So please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. Now it's time for your news. Now, the first ever Mr. and Miss Ace 2020 for the coastal town, Witbooi, will be crowned in Witbooi at the Rustic Pearl on Saturday evening. Now, Megan Marai, the director of Ace Models Namibia Coast, explained that the pageant with A Night Under the Stars as theme is part of the Ace Models curriculum. Now, the idea is to give contestants the full experience of a beauty pageant. The models get to see what rehearsals are like, photo shoots, on-stage introductions, and through this they get to build their self-confidence and improve on who they are as individuals. This also teaches models the importance of time management and support systems. Now, 21 contestants will be participating in the pageant. Now, the junior division contestants are Arinka Jansen van Rensburg, Zekia de Koe, Kaylen Clark, Taylor de Jager. Now, the pre-division contestants are Shane Venter, Eunice Nolte, Donna Ross, Annika de Jager, Tyler Locke, and Yahazara Locke. Now, the teen division contestants are Gabby Styler, Chardonnay Smith, Naomi Ingalepo, Caitlin Rousseau, Jordan Strauss, Shakira Borges, and Vonay Jansen van Rensburg. Now, Shakina de Sousa, Kayla Luce, Delano Miller, and Jandre Locke will compete in the senior male division. Now, the models will compete for the titles of Miss Ace 2020, juniors through to males, first runner-up junior through to males, and second runner-up junior through to males, as well as for the Mr. Ace 2020 title. Now, other titles include that of Mr. and Miss Photogenic, junior through to males, as well as Mr. and Miss Personality, junior through to males. Now, the judging panel for the evening includes Daphne Voigt, who is the director of Ace Model Namibia and has been part of the Ace Model family since 2014. Now, Judah Marai is a former Ace Model and Mr. VAP 2015, as well as a Mr. Private School 2015 finalist. Now, he was also scouted to travel to Orlando in 2017 at the annual Ace Models National Conference in South Africa. And then finally, our judge for the evening will be Dominique Bowers, who is the Miss Teen Witbooi of 2019-2020, and she has an absolute passion for youth and pageantry. Now, Marai said that the Ace Models was founded by Joannie Johnson, a former Miss South Africa, in 2005. Now, Marai, who is the coastal director in here in Witbooi, says that she loves seeing her students grow to become successful young women and men. I teach the kids the basics of modeling and prep them for the modeling industry as well as the world out there. Now, some Ace Models are simply there to work on their self-confidence, while others are there to build a serious modeling career. I love what I'm doing and I wouldn't exchange it for for anything in the world, she said. Now, the competition is going to start tomorrow at 4:30 for 5 o'clock, and then there are limited tickets are available at the door. Now, Megan Marai is calling on the entire coastal community to join in seeing this momentous occasion. And then finally, on our final story, thus far 2020 has been a powerful reminder that we're all in this together and our choices and actions have the power to protect the most vulnerable amongst us. Now, this is not only true for COVID-19, but also when it comes to breast cancer. Now, the Breast Cancer Awareness Month and its accompanying pink ribbon are now synonymous with the awareness around the cancer, prevention, early detection, and the hope for all surviving this dreaded disease. Now, Amarolise Scholz, which is the FMB wellness specialist, says that awareness means different things to different people. Now, for some, it's about celebrating strength and survival and giving hope. For others, advocacy and a push to educate people about the realities of breast cancer. Now, we offer all of the above to our employees and encourage them to talk to us about any concerns and fears they might have regarding their health and wellness. Now, Scholz says that we all need some strength, guidance, and hope, and provided the following ways you can help. Now, education. When breast cancer is detected early and is in the localized stage, the 5-year relative survival rate is 99%. Now, early detection includes doing monthly breast self-exams and scheduling regular clinical breast exams and mammograms. Early detection can save your life. Now, support. Spread the word about Breast Cancer Awareness Month on social media and among your friends. Support a loved one fighting the cancer battle with practical actions. They might not have the strength to do it themselves, for instance with a cooked meal, a foot massage, or keeping them company during treatment. Now, share the story of how you or a loved one have been affected or survived breast cancer and proudly wear a pink ribbon every October. Now, normalize breast cancer in men awareness. As part of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, it is also important to create awareness on male breast cancer, which is rare, but it can grow in the small amount of breast tissue men have behind their nipples. Now, male breast cancer is most common in older men, but can very occasionally affect younger men as well. Now, self-examination is the best way to detect if you have a lump in the breast. We all have a duty to inform and educate our fellow Namibians to ensure early detection and to maintain our health and overall well-being, emphasized Scholz. Now, in our interview segment, which is going to play right after this break, is with Luzelle, who's also going to talk about a journey post-cancer and the awesome photo shoots that she did showing all of her scars. So, to everyone fighting out there, breast cancer or is post-cancer, we're thinking of you, we're with you this fight. So if you want to check out this and so much more, you can check out our website at www.erongo.com.na. Okay, joining us here on Erongo Talk is Ms. Luzelle Lestrade, who is a breast cancer survivor. Yes! So just tell me, how are you today?
I'm well, thanks, Leandrea, and you?
Oh, no, I'm good. It's a bit windy outside, but, you know, we're doing okay. Now, the reason why we decided to talk to this lovely lady today is because she did an awesome photo shoot somewhere in the week, right? Where she basically showed her scars from being a breast cancer survivor. Just tell us about the journey leading up to that photo shoot. Why did you decide to do it?
Okay, so I'm a 2-year survivor now. I had breast cancer at the age of 33, and I went through the entire treatment process. I had chemo for 6 months, radiation, 32 sessions of radiation. First failed lumpectomy. My first surgery was failed. And then I moved to Namibia. I moved back home and had a double mastectomy and reconstruction. Yes. So I was actually lucky that I got more aggressive treatment here in Namibia. And after that, I'm clean now. Yes. And I've always wanted to do a shoot because I had a blog last year. Remember when we spoke, I used to write, and women used to write to me and say, I don't feel like a woman anymore, or I feel I'm depressed because of my scars, or I'm depressed because of what I've gone through. I'm struggling with this. And I'm not very conscious about my scars. In fact, I actually love them now because they're a reminder of what I went through, and what I went through that tried to break me couldn't do that. So I embrace that now. I'm still conscious about it. I don't want to show it to the world. So, but I wanted to just empower other women who have gone through breast cancer to embrace themselves and to see that there is hope after breast cancer. Because in this month, in October, we talk a lot about awareness, we talk about prevention, but we often don't talk about the journey that cancer patients and fighters go through, and the journey after cancer, because life is never the same after a cancer diagnosis. So I wanted to do that, and I had the most amazing photographer, local photographer, Isa Damon, and she did it very tastefully. So I told her, I don't want just a beautiful shoot. I think all the pink is sometimes overrated. So I wanted something that would empower women, something that when they look at it, they feel there's hope after a breast cancer diagnosis. So Faiza did it very well, and I'm very happy with the way that we did it. It was beautiful, but it was vulnerable. I wasn't ready to show all my scars yet, but I showed her we can kind of show glimpses of my scars, and she did just that.
Definitely. No, I felt empowered. I'm not even a breast cancer survivor, but I felt empowered and was just, yes, do this. Now, we spoke a while ago that you are going to collaborate with other women that are also cancer survivors, and the photographer is going to do like a whole shoot. Can you just tell us about that?
Yes. So Faiza and I actually wanted to do it this year. We spoke about a breast cancer shoot, I think last year and in the beginning of this year. And then this year was just a total mess. Yes. So, but I told her I still want to continue, so let's do my shoot. And I didn't expect that it was going to turn out in this way, because it was just something personal for me, and I'm part of a breast cancer support group, international one, online. I wanted to share it with them and so forth. So, so we decided to do it, but what we actually wanted to do in the first place was to get a group of other survivors together. And so today I hope that other women, other breast cancer survivors will contact us, either me or Faiza, and we're looking for young women, we're looking for older women, we're looking for men even. So if there are men who are survivors, because this is like a taboo subject, men think that a very small percentage of them do get breast cancer, but they feel ashamed of it, maybe because it's a very sexualized kind of disease sometimes. So if there are men outside who are brave and willing enough to come and do this with us, it will be awesome. So we're looking for people across the spectrum, because this is a disease that it affects all of us. It affects people of different races, different genders, different income levels. It doesn't discriminate in terms of who you are. So we want all of those survivors, and I think we're going to have a blast if we just all together and do an awesome shoot with Faiza somewhere in the desert or somewhere at the beach.
So you hear the viewers, you can get in contact even with us, inbox us, and we can put you in contact with Luzelle. Now just quickly tell me, how important is speaking about your journey and being supported after cancer? How important is that aspect when it comes to your recovery after cancer?
I think it's extremely important, Leandrea, because people don't understand the disease. So, and people often don't understand the emotional impact and the psychological impact that it has. So I am clean now. So physically I've healed, and my wounds physically are scars now. But the emotional wounds, you still have to work through all of that, because basically you were about to die, basically. And so to deal with all of that and the things that led to that, dealing with that is very important. And so I think it's important for people to have a better understanding of the journey, and that is why a while ago when I had the blog, I wrote about the journey so that people understood. Sometimes people look at you and they say, oh, but you're so strong. And it's not true. You're not always strong. There were many times when I wanted to give up. And that's the time when family and friends stepped in, and they kind of supported me through the process. So it's not yay, I'm a warrior kind of. It's not that experience. It's a grueling experience. And so I love the pink. I'm all for the pink. But sometimes we think of pink and we think that breast cancer is cute or breast cancer is beautiful. It's actually very grueling, and people don't understand that entire process. So with chemo, I wanted to give up, and and then it's radiation, and it felt like it just never ended. And what I thought was going to be a 6 months process of treatment ended up being over a year. And then when I thought I was done, I had to realize, okay, there's still cancer left in the breast, and now I had to go for a double mastectomy. So the process it's a roller coaster ride. And when I stepped out, I put on my brave face. But the people who are around you, they know that you're not always brave, you're not always strong, you can't always deal with all of that. So for family and friends and for people to understand the journey, I think that is extremely important. And to know that when you are clean now, life is never the same again. I mean, there's things like understanding the journey after cancer. Chemo wreaks havoc on your dental health, for example. So your teeth are never the same again. You have to take extra care of that. Your gum health is different. Your skin is different. Women struggle with infertility after cancer. So it's still a hell of a ride after cancer. But so I think that is where my passion is at, to help people understand the journey after the cancer diagnosis, so that we still remember that this person is still on. It's still a healing journey. The physical healing is maybe done, but it's still an emotional, spiritual, psychological journey that you're on to heal internally as well.
Exactly. Now tell me, Luzelle, do you still do the blog?
I don't.
Why not?
But I didn't delete the blog because there's a lot of good content, and a lot of women told me that they feel empowered and they feel that they're not alone, and I did it for them. But then you have these strange lurkers, you know, and so there were some people who kind of, and I said, no, let me just wait for a while, because emotionally I couldn't deal with with too much of that. But so like even the photo shoot, I did it for the survivors. I did it for, but other people will have their own perspectives of it, and I didn't do it for them, so they can just scroll past and go.
And no comments, no likes, no reactions, nothing. Just look at it and leave.
Exactly. So the blog was also, it was kind of like the shoot as well. It was a very vulnerable place, and sometimes people took my vulnerability out of context, and that is why I stopped it for a while. But I will still continue. I will. I just unpublished it on Facebook, so I will open it up again, and I will continue with it. And they still, because people go back and they see.
Exactly.
I posted photos of how terrible I looked sometimes during chemo and all of that, and that people could relate to that. People who have gone through the journey. So I will unpublish it again.
Okay. Yay! Yeah, that's some good news.
But yeah, so it's still there. But yeah.
Cool. And I know for a fact that breast cancer, it's like you said, it's very grueling. And you spoke about the fact that a lot of women don't feel like a woman afterwards, after that breast cancer, and had to remove the breasts. What kept you going through that process? What kept motivating you?
My faith played an extremely important role in my recovery. So faith and honesty with myself. Because I often talk to people about toxic positivity. I wanted to kind of, just strangle some people when they said, just be positive, just be positive. That's not the reality. That's not the reality. What I tell people is, be honest, recognize and realize this is how I'm feeling. I'm not feeling up to this at the moment, and deal with it, but don't wallow and sit there and just allow yourself to go on and on in that state of depression, because breast cancer can cause a lot of mental issues for you as well. So I think my faith played an extremely important role, and just being authentic, being honest. I told my family, this is how I feel right now. I didn't pretend to be any other way that I was not. So I think that helped, and I think spiritually and emotionally I've done a lot of groundwork in my life. So my foundation, in addition to my faith, I worked through a lot of issues. So when breast cancer came, I think my foundation was strong enough. And I think that kind of helped me. Now you're dealing with issues like, for example, weight gain after breast cancer, which is something new to me. I've never struggled with weight, but now I do, because I'm on hormone and hormone medication and so forth. So, but I'm like, you know what? And even with my scars, there's so many things different about me now. But for me, the one thing that kept me going is just like, I'm alive. I'm alive, I'm here. And the key thing is, I'm here for my two boys. My one son was 3 years old when I was diagnosed, and the other one was turning 2. He was a year and a half. So those two little characters are the ones that really keep me going, and I did it for them. I fight for them. So when I wanted to give up, I remember that there are two boys that still need me. They still have their whole life ahead of them. They still have milestones to reach.
Exactly.
So that really get me going.
Cool. And then finally, Luzelle, just do you have a message for those fighting breast cancer now, or is also like you on a journey after cancer? Is there anything that you'd like to say to them?
Wow, I think people don't realize, women who are going through it, sometimes we don't feel as strong as we are.
Yes.
And but recognize that you are really loved,
Yes.
that you are really special to many people, and that you are actually quite strong and you are braver than you think.
Yes.
And what I would say is that because oftentimes breast cancer survivors or people fighting breast cancer going through this thing, they don't know how to ask for help.
Yes.
And they don't know how to accept help. And so this is what I would say. There's a whole body of research that looks at the connections between breast cancer and the psychological factors related to that. And oftentimes the research tells us that if you're a breast cancer survivor, you're someone that takes a lot on yourself. So in your healing journey, heal emotionally as well. Recognize that there are patterns within you that requires healing as well.
Yes.
And part of the healing is saying, I need help now. And part of the healing is saying that, okay, thank you.
Yes.
I accept that assistance.
Yes.
So be honest with yourself, be authentic, and know that there are people who love you, who care for you, who will be there for you. So just reach out.
Definitely.
Yeah, and then sorry,
Yes.
Leandrea,
No, it's
another
fine.
breast cancer survivor, a
Yes.
young lady here. We became friends through the breast cancer, through her breast cancer journey, and the two of us want to start a support group for women.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we are still busy,
Okay.
arranging. But what we want to do is we want to get survivors and people in the process. We want to get just together, just to socialize.
Yes.
And sometimes people forget they only want to talk about the breast cancer. We also just want to enjoy life, and just get survivors and fighters together and talk about whatever issues we have and get people in that would. So for example, 1 month we will have a physiotherapist to come and show us how, because your body is not as strong anymore after a mastectomy, how to deal with different aspects of your body now. Maybe one day we'll get a makeup artist to just fun things and just enjoy a glass of wine or a cup of coffee together and just come together as a group of women to support one another. So a friend of mine, a survivor, and we are working on that, and we'll love to get women together for that.
Okay.
We'll
I'm
give more
excited.
details,
I'm
yeah?
excited. Should definitely keep tabs on that. I would definitely would like to tell the ladies out there. So this is Miss Luzelle Lestrade. Thank you so much for talking to us here on Erongo Talk. So like I said before, if you are a survivor, you're going through breast cancer or whatever, get in contact with us and we'll put you into contact with Luzelle and we take it from there.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Leandrea.
And now for your upcoming events, the Mr. and Miss Ace Models Namibia Coast is taking place tomorrow at the Rustic Pearl from 4:30 for 5 o'clock. Now, it's going to be quite a hectic weekend at the Rustic Pearl in Walvis Bay because they're also hosting a craft market on Sunday from 9 o'clock. Now, the Rustic Pearl is situated just next to Floyd's Nest in Walvis Bay. Now, Vaughan Arend's band and his band is also going to play live at the Rustic Pearl tonight at 7:30. And then on Thursday, the 5th of November, the Walvis Bay Office of Ramos Realtors Namibia will be hosting a blood donation clinic from 9 o'clock until 4 o'clock. Now, it's very important that you need to eat before you go donate. You need to be 16 years and younger than 65, older than 16 and younger than 65. You must weigh then more than 50 kilograms and you must lead a sexually safe and healthy lifestyle and be committed to helping others if you want to go donate blood. Then tomorrow, Coastal Poetry Through the Mask will also be hosted at the Rendezvous in Walvis Bay. That is at the Living Water Church in Walvis Bay. Now, they are going to start around 6:15. Then Savannah Collins is also going to be live at the Bar Sonder Naam in Swakopmund tomorrow at 5 o'clock. And then tomorrow at 3 o'clock, the gin and vodka tasting will be taking place at the Swakopmund Plaza Hotel, which is hosted by Copper and Coal Distillery. But I've heard a little birdie saying that tickets are almost completely done. So if you want to go check that out, you can definitely check out their Facebook page. And then tonight, Riverside Private School will host their second annual Neon Night Fun Run. Now, it's $50 per individual. And you get a glow stick. How cool is that? So they're going to start from the school. If you want any more information or registration, you can contact the school at 0864 463 421. And then finally, the Atrium Lifestyle Center is going to host a spooktacular family fun day tomorrow from 9:30. So you can join them for family fun day where you can wear costume, do face painting, there's food specials, trick or treats, live music. So it's going to be fun for the whole family. And then another community market also from at Ocean View Spa tomorrow from 10 o'clock. Now, that's your upcoming events. You have anything else that's happening in the region this week, let us know at 0811 7040.
The Woermannhaus building complex was built in 1894 according to the plans of the architect Friedrich Gift in the historical half-timbered style for the Hamburg freight forwarder Adolf Woermann and his German Southwest African Damra and Namakwa Handelsgesellschaft known as Woermannbrock & Co. from 1909. The complex consists of the main building, an inner courtyard and the so-called Damascus Tower. The latter also served as a lookout point for incoming ships, as a water tower and as a flagpole. In 1903 and 1904, further office space was added. The inner courtyard originally consisted of a lawn. In 1921, the Woermannhaus was taken over by the South African administration, which used the building from 1924 to 1972 as a youth home. On December 10, 1971, the then dilapidated Woermannhaus was declared a monument by the Council for National Monuments, and after extensive renovation and restoration work, it was opened to the public on the 22nd of October 1976. The interior was also largely preserved. On the eaves of the stairwell that is accessible from the inner courtyard, two sayings can be read across the corner. Everyone leave two domes in front of the door, and in these walls may live on. The Woermannhaus now houses, among many other things, a library, a tourist information center, and an art gallery.
Toe ons jong was kon ons eet net wat ons wou. Ons kon speel en ons kon 'n lang pause hou. Ons was fyn om net hande vas te hou. En ons ouers was die mooiste man en vrou toe ons jong was. Toe ons jong was het ons nie geweet van hartbreek nie. Ons drome was groot en ons was nie bang nie. Toe ons jong was ons ouers nog by mekaar. Oupas, oumas het geleef en niks was te swaar toe ons jong was. En ons tyd hier is altyd min. Ons is almal nou groot, maar ons het klein begin. Al gaan die jare verby, kom wees weer jong, saam met my. Al gaan die jare verby, kom wees weer jong, saam met my. Toe ons jong was, het ons nog met ons bure gepraat. Daar was nie so ding soos klere en ons het niemand gehad. Toe ons jong was, het ons nog genoeg geld gehad. Ons harte was vol, ons was vir niemand kwaad. Toe ons jong was, toe ons jong was. Al gaan die jare verby, kom wees weer jong, saam met my. Al gaan die jare verby.
And now for your weather and tides. High tide, we're at this morning at 20 minutes past 2. Low tide at 5 minutes past 8. High tide will be again at 25 minutes past 2. And then low tide will be at 8:30 tonight. Now your best fishing time for today is between 22 minutes past 2 to 26 minutes past 3. Now, Walvis Bay, we had sunrise at 18 minutes past 6. Sunset will be at a quarter past 7. Now this is more or less your times for sunrise and sunset for all the major towns here in the Erongo region. Now a maximum temperature for today is 19 degrees Celsius for Walvis Bay with a south-southwesterly wind of 20 kilometers per hour. Then for tomorrow, a minimum of 13 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 19 degrees Celsius. Now for Sunday, it's also a minimum of 13 degrees Celsius with a maximum of 19 degrees Celsius. For Swakopmund, a maximum temperature for today is 17 degrees Celsius with a south-southwesterly wind of 17 kilometers per hour. For tomorrow, a minimum of 13 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 17 degrees Celsius. And then for Sunday, a minimum of 14 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 17 degrees Celsius. For Antis Bay, maximum temperature expected for today is 17 degrees Celsius with a southerly wind of 17 kilometers per hour. For tomorrow, a minimum of 13 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 17 degrees Celsius. And then for Sunday, a minimum of 15 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 18 degrees Celsius. And then moving inland to Arandas, maximum temperature for today is 26 degrees Celsius with a west-southwesterly wind of 13 kilometers per hour. A minimum of 13 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 29 degrees Celsius. And then for Sunday, a minimum of 12 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 29 degrees Celsius. Then for Usakos, maximum temperature for today is a very hot 38 degrees Celsius with a southeasterly wind of 11 kilometers per hour. For tomorrow, minimum of 15 and a maximum of 38 degrees Celsius. And then for Sunday, a minimum of 14 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 38 degrees Celsius. And then for Karibop, maximum temperature for today is 36 degrees Celsius with a northerly wind of 11 kilometers per hour. For Saturday, a minimum of 16 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 36 degrees Celsius. And the same for Sunday, minimum of 16 and a maximum of 36 degrees Celsius. And then finally for Omaruru, maximum temperature for today is 35 degrees Celsius with a southerly wind of 11 kilometers per hour. For tomorrow, a minimum of 16 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 36 degrees Celsius. And then for Sunday, a minimum of 16 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 36 degrees Celsius. Now that is your weather and tides for today and this weekend. Unfortunately, that is the end of today's episode of Erongo Talk, but you can check out our website at www.erongo.com.na. That's www.erongo.com.na for all the latest news happening here in the Erongo region. You can also follow us on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Instagram, or you can let us know what's happening in your community or get into contact with us for advertising opportunities at 0811 7040. That's 0811 7040. Now, if you haven't answered the pop-up question, now is your time to do so, because you can win your share of 1,000 Namibian dollars off your next accommodation. But you need to be at the Namibian Tourism Expo, which is scheduled from next week, the 4th to the 7th of November. Now, Erongo Talk is also going to join the expo from next week, Wednesday onwards, so we hope to see you there. And another thing happening in November is our annual holiday supplement. So please make sure that you book your space, and you can contact us at 0811 7040. That's 0811 7040. We're going to offer you some amazing advertising rates, and it comes out in a fancy magazine. So as you can see, I'm here at Riekert's holiday apartment. I'm going to relax now. I'm going to lounge here. So until Monday, I will see you again. Bye.
Wie dan is verliefd? Misdemeanor, Ashley, Anton, manneris en vrede. Product op plekke jelle soos 'n Wiz Khalifa. Sê hulle, maar disbelieve it, dis maar net hulle. Dis maniere wat hulle deliver soos 'n Mr. D. Hou die chains om my nek soos 'n Mr. T. Julle diks maniere, en die culture vows as hulle sit to give. En al die bite, maak hier hulle alles te read. Maar die vlam het gekom soos 'n Pinksteruur. Die vlam is 'n tong kom plus die vier. Hy lieg onder in die bus met die. Ek spieg uit my mond en kom my wizard 3. Maak vrie die ondergrond en hy prison key. Weet jy altyd wat ek kan doen nie? En ek voel aan ek is man alleen. Ons is mos ook al lang kali. As ek kan niks hier in my land nie. This unbelievable Trump hier gekill down to deep in the nil. Die country is te laat ons net ham terwyl die naam my people het gil. Skryf Witbooi, 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 Witbooi. Plaks die mas, alles nou lak, ons sien ons bad en alles op drakke, siek ons vat van alles, klim met die kasse, jy's king, alles gestraf, ek siek en sat van alles, sat gestiek en blad, soos Wallace, as kapadien, ons blaas, soos malles, klim met die kasse, jy's king, alles transip met sy hand bedee. Als jy hoe gekanker leeg, self bejammering op 'n ander tyd, spring op 'n hings en hande leeg. Skud jou holle tot jy krampe kry, want van die dag van die paperei, ons party, al het ons ook zwaar gekry, sing soos 'n nightingale met 'n lamp by, soos Florence for the castaway, van friends are few in the darkest days, en die mix tot die assemate, yo fix DJ, please maak away, vir ons toys, tot die dolly party, nee, pack up away, soos hy cartoon Bali in 'n Russell J, op die beat en die ankelees, firm in die driver seat, jy's nog wabbele, ja belê, maar klaar slaver, nee, ons is Aaron, wat die land moet lei, en soos 'n arend, kan ons saam mee steeg, ja dan moet hulle dan nou met 'n man beklei, of hoe, voel hulle dier die van bedreig, dink mooi, kooi en die sun is crazy, Witbooi, ahoy, is kan die guns ook raise, jy, weet jy altyd wat ek kan doen nie, en ek voel aan ek is man alleen, ons is mos ook al lang kali, as ek kan niks hier in my land nie, that's unbelievable, Trump was hier gekill down to even in nil, die country is te laat, ons net ham terwyl die naam my people het gil, skryf Witbooi, 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 met die kasse, jy's king, alles gestraf, ek sien, ek sat van alles, ek sat gestiek en blad, soos Wallace, skat, wat die ons blad, soos man, met die kasse, jy's king, alles